So there's an old joke that goes like this, that when a priest announces that he's leaving the parish, a third of the people cry, a third of the people rejoice, and a third of the people just don't even notice the difference. Well, by now, most of you will have heard yesterday's announcement that I'm leaving the parish this summer. I've been appointed to full-time seminary work. Now, I'm aware that we are living amid this coronavirus crisis in a time of great uncertainty, and that therefore, for our parish, my leaving is just adding to that uncertainty. So I thought in my sermon today, I'd address that head on. And my simple point is this, that if the apostles could survive the Lord Jesus leaving them, then the parish can certainly survive my leaving. Now, in the Gospel, the text we just heard, we heard the Lord Jesus announce that he was going. I am now going, he said. And while they didn't understand it yet, even though he predicted it many times, the Lord wasn't just leaving them, but he was going to leave them in a pretty horrible way by his crucifixion and death. But even if he hadn't been going to depart them in such a brutal manner, we might well imagine that they wouldn't have wanted him to go. That they were with him because they liked being with him. And they liked him being with them. And we can be pretty sure they just didn't want change. Not a change that meant him leaving. But if he hadn't left them, if they hadn't endured change, then he couldn't have opened the way to the Father, the way to heaven, the way to the place that he was preparing for them. Now, in comparison, my leaving is nothing. In comparison, my leaving, or after I'm gone, I don't know what lies ahead for you, but I trust God, and I trust God for you. When I think back to my own life, and I think of the different priests that have ministered to me at different times, well, each one of those priests have been different, sometimes very different. And I haven't been able to receive from them the same thing each time. But their differences have also been a gift to me, that they have helped me in different ways, because they were different. And so one of my points to you is that we need to trust God, that he helps us and helps us in different ways, not just by continuing more of the same. So back to our gospel text, we heard the Lord Jesus addressing his disciples and saying, "Do not let your hearts be troubled." He told them to trust in God. Well, what does God have in store for this community and for the individuals within this community? Well, I don't know what he's got in store, but I do know, because he's shown it, that he is a good God, and I'm confident that whatever lies ahead for the people in this community, and somehow this community itself, that he will find different ways to shepherd the sheep of this flock. So to conclude, he doesn't always lead us in easy ways. He doesn't always lead us in the way we want. But he does always lead us. And even with the uncertainty of my going, he will lead you still.